Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about a couple of broad areas in which you'll be expecting questions while going for interviews on data science jobs. So the first area that is very important in data science jobs, and this is very important for people from IT, those who want to move into data science, is to have a good command over applied mathematics. Well, applied mathematics is very broad in the sense that it includes a lot of sub areas or a lot of other academic fields. So at a pretty broad level, one should be comfortable with the algebra, linear algebra. So one should be able to do matrix algebra, matrix multiplications, subtractions, the operations on matrices, and so on. The Cartesian algebra, that's also important. Coordinate geometry, that's also important. One should also be familiar with optimizations like linear programming and so on. Okay, linear programming, non-linear programming. So one should be comfortable with the basics of optimizations. Stochastic mathematics, especially people going into the field of financial risk, data science jobs in financial risk or banking and banking jobs. They would expect you to be familiar with stochastic mathematics because a lot of their a lot of the financial mathematics is very related, or maybe I would say it heavily uses stochastic mathematics. So one should be familiar with that. And apart from that, you should be very comfortable with the fundamentals of calculus, um, and then differential equations, so on. And the most important thing is to have a very good command over probability. No matter which field of data science you are going into, one should be very familiar with the concepts of probability, the Bayesian statistics, things like that. Basic statistics is very important. So all the data summarization statistics like mean, median, mode, what is a box plot, what is a bar chart, histogram, differences between these different plots, how to interpret different statistics, one should be very comfortable with. Statistical modeling. Statistical modeling involves a number of simple models to more complicated model, which includes linear regression to Bayesian modeling to survival modeling. Okay, so one should be comfortable with as many models as one possibly can master. It's difficult to master all the modeling techniques unless, of course, you have a PhD or maybe a master's in statistics. But one should have a reasonably comfortable with at least 5 to 6 modeling technique. Machine learning. This is increasingly becoming more popular, and it's important that one should be comfortable with the advanced machine learning techniques, which could be SBM, could be a random forest model, or the newly advanced neural network techniques. Okay, and apart from that, decision tree and techniques that has come from the more data mining academic field, that's also important, and one should be familiar using this technique rather than just knowing the theory. I mean, both are important. Having a clear understanding of the theory behind these techniques, at the same time having the experience of using them. And the last one is econometrics. This is a field that uses statistical modeling to do forecasting or doing analysis on economic and financial data. So people who are going to work on consumer behavior, economic forecasting, macroeconomic forecasting, or maybe a financial modeling, um, will need to be really reasonably good in econometrics. So it could be linear regression, polynomial regression, then using instrumental variable in regression techniques, handling heteroscedasticity, problems with linear regressions, overcoming autocorrelation, using autocorrelation in regression modeling, and then time series forecasting, panel data analysis, uh, and the list goes on. So one should be familiar with all these techniques. Apart from having a good command over applied maths, one should be really good at programming as well. So this profession demands a very good skill over a lot of these programming languages. The popular ones are SAS, R, MATLAB, and SPSS, which are statistical programming softwares, which is all suited for non-statistical works like optimizations and machine learning. Some of the areas of data science will of course need big data tools like Hadoop. Okay, but not all data science jobs will demand big data tools. One should have a proper understanding of data handling, and one should be very comfortable with SQL in particular. Nowadays, NoSQL is also gaining popularity because of the volume of the data. One should also be comfortable with scripting languages or more programmatically involved languages like Python, Java, C++, C, and so on. So if somebody is familiar, like Python has data science library as well. I'm sure even Java and C++ has got numerical computation library. So if you have good command over these languages, it's always an add-on. In fact, a lot of these jobs demand a very strong programming skills, because you will find jobs like data science developer jobs and then data scientist jobs. So data science developers will demand a better programming skills than the data scientist jobs, which of course needs a lot of programming ability. But at the same time, there are people from IT development who are going to help them out in implementing some of the algorithms. So somebody with good programming skill will, and with of course the algorithms knowledge, will have better opportunities and more options. So at the same time, one should also have a very good understanding of how to write code, not just writing code, but how to write a good code or a very efficient code. So code optimization is very important. Handling time and space complexity, or having a good understanding of that while writing code, is very important. Software development is very important because data science algorithms involves a lot of IT implementations. So having command over a software development lifecycle is very important. So fundamentals should be very clear. Data modeling is very important, and exposure to IT development cycles like Agile or the waterfall IT development cycles, Scrum, best practices on IT development, and documentation, of course, is very handy, and you got to expect a few questions if you are applying for data science jobs. Domain and product knowledge, it's very important, and this goes without saying that if somebody has to be successful in this field, one has to have a very good knowledge, if not at an expert level, but at least have a reasonable understanding of the domain and the product that one is working with. If you're working with banking, one should be very comfortable with the risk regulations, the management reports used in banking, the product knowledge. If you're working with credit card, one should be knowing everything about credit card. Mortgage, if somebody is working with mortgage, one should be very comfortable with the mortgage. It also depends on the market we're dealing with. Okay, like if you're working on the mortgage market in US, that would be different from what you will see in Europe and what you will see in APAC. Okay. If you work with manufacturing, you have to be comfortable with inventory, order management, supply chain management, and so on. Working with telecom, you should be comfortable with the telecom regulations, customers, the type of customers that one gets in telecom, and their behavior, different product types, and so on. The e-commerce is fairly new, it's important that you should know the customer behavior, the payment channels, um, and the different best practices that has come up in this particular area. So that's equally important. And in fact, if you are if you are if you are hired at an experience level, domain and product questions matter a lot. If you are a fresher, you are a freshman, fresh out of college, probably this area won't matter much. Maybe you won't get you won't expect questions on domain for a fresher. Soft skills, as is important in any other job, is very important in data science as well. One of the reasons why this is very important in any of these quantitative roles is because you have to deal with a different type of stakeholders. You will have to deal with people who don't understand your algorithm, and people who don't understand the program that you have written. So you have to deal with highly technical stakeholders as well as non-technical stakeholders. So handling that, or handling both, is a difficult task, and one should have a really good soft skill to be able to do that. So ability to handle stakeholders is one important thing, and variety of stakeholders. Being very proactive is important in any job, and it's also important here. Being innovative. As a data scientist, you are supposed to come up with innovative things. You are supposed to write technical papers, present technical or highly innovative ideas to the management. Many times you won't be appreciated for your ideas, because not all ideas will be practical enough to implement. But one should have that patience, and should have that curiosity to just keep on innovating, and maybe some of it will get implemented and recognized. Problem solving skills, very important, is because you'll always be dealing with problems related to the business. So having a good problem solving skill, having good problem solving skill is always good. Communication skill is important in all types of job nowadays, and it's very important. The reason is because you have to write your technical stuff in non-technical way when you are presenting to the senior management, because they won't understand. Most of them won't understand the complicated maths that you're using. So you have to express yourself in a non-technical way, in a way that people understand you, and that's require a very good communication skills, presentation skills. So in many areas, I know the business analysts actually go out and present. So developer need not have to present themselves directly to the business people. But if you're working in a data science, there is no concept called business analyst in data science. You are a business analyst yourself, you are a developer, and you are the algorithm expert. So you have to do end to end, and that's one of the reasons why these people are being so highly paid. So you will have to develop a skill of presenting yourself or presenting your work to the senior management in a very sort of a fashionable way that impresses them, or you should be able to highlight your work, not just to survive yourself, but also to ensure that you get good appreciation and you survive in the organization you're working with. These skills are very important, especially if you're working for consulting companies. Okay, in product company, soft skills of course is a secondary skill, but in consulting company these skills takes precedence over your hard skills, because you're selling yourself. I hope this is useful. So please subscribe to our channel, and also please contact us